Are you ready to be introduced to your cat self, emerging from another dimension? Good. Come with me. I hope you're as excited as I am to learn of a part of yourself that you may have only known of within your dreams. The mysteries that will be revealed for you to be introduced to your furry better half. This magical cat self that is relaxing while teaching humans how to be better people. It's time to integrate that self, that truly sacred part of you that does its best light work in the shadows. Your noble cat self purrs, a rhythm to the heart of the stars themselves. It gives me great pleasure to continue our strange journey into a parallel dimension that kisses our dimension more frequently than you might expect, making you a very unique form of soul walker, where the other half of you appears on our plane, bending space and time at will, knowing of your present existence, all the while doing great deeds. You may assume yourself in the shower singing to a favorite song, but your cat self is softly approaching humans in dire need. So if you notice that at times you are drifting lost in thought, but can't quite recall where you drifted off to, that is when your double, who also works here, pulls on you. A side effect of some of your greatest work is when you feel emotionally moved and deeply influenced, and you notice arm hairs raising or a shiver up your spine. This will make sense when I explain your other self. Have I drawn out the mystery enough? The cat world frequently touches on our shadow work here, as they are living comfortably in darkness and shadows. Their eyes are so refined, they see light everywhere, even where you cannot. Some of their best work, as evidenced when they bounce off your head at 3 a.m., is when the world is dark and quiet for you. To them, you might as well have invited them over to have 3 cups of coffee. Your other self is dignified and mysterious, filled with endless heart and compassion, and deeply influenced by those who care for her and who live in a realm of frankincense and myrrh. She is the god Osiris's own cat, his special soul guardian, given as a gift to him by Isis after she repaired him. Osiris was torn apart by his brother Set and scattered up and down the Nile before Isis, who, determined with her love, found each and every one of his missing parts and blew life back into him, rebirthing him as the god that is known as the key aspect of death and the other worlds. It was not known that at this exact same time, Sekhmet, another face or aspect of Aset, Isis's original name, gave him a cat companion as his very own familiar, and this is how your cat self became a legend in her own right. A moon-bright, pure white Sphinx cat was offered from Sekhmet to Osiris from a litter of magical kittens that were gifted to her by Bastet herself. Special kittens whose entire purpose was to train and care for worldly cats living in the temples and to share the rarest of secrets with them. You had sapphire blue eyes the color of the clearest morning sky that could peer into the darkest gates with the light of the sun. Nothing could scare you even when you were little. You were the perfect gift. That is, until you found your own path and rebelled against your station. Here is your story, here are your gifts, and here is your sacred oracle. As Osiris's cat, you were the Sphinx who guarded the gate, and ideally him from further attacks from jealous Set. They say that in the early days, before the Nile first dreamed of winding, Bastet crafted a cat from the breath between heartbeats. She was born to be the fierce sentinel at the gates of Duat, the underworld. When Osiris received her as a gift of love, what he beheld when he looked into her sky-blue eyes was not wrath, but refuge. He said,
"Let her not stand like a fearsome statue at the gates. Let her walk among the living. Let her find the ones who pass unseen, whether through the extended life or accident. Let her carry peace into the rooms and circumstances where gods seem to be missing. In cases of brutal tragedy that have struck down the innocent, let her sweet face shine in their eyes like the sun, so they know her beauty and comfort the instant they begin their transitions back to loving source."
and so Sopdet was freed upon the earth, not as a beast of judgment, but as a tender conspirator of release. No lock can hold her, no barrier resist her. She appears instantly when sudden and unexpected death arrives to those alone or in unkind company. Nursing homes, dim hospital wings, the quiet corners of hospice care. But her greatest gifts, which comes with her love and fearlessness, is to arrive to those innocent humans in the company of danger, via human beasts who thrive in compassionless chaos and cruelty. Those who would cause harm cannot see when she arrives, but her tail curves around their legs like crook and flail, to mark them for when their time arrives, so that Sopdet knows their name by her mark. These places on earth are her temples and her true duty. To see her is to be chosen. To be seen by her is to be remembered. And when the time comes, her eyes will be the last mirror of your best memories on earth, and her purr the bridge back to the stars. About her name. When she was gifted, she already had the name Sopdet, derived from the ancient Egyptian god of the constellation Orion, closely linked to Osiris, where he is said to reside. He fondly named her after this star to infer that she belongs to the stars, for it carried cosmic grace for a cat who does not answer to clocks, but to the constellations themselves. After her tales and tales of her wanderings came back to his kingdom, and he had seen what she chose to do with her gifts, he and Aset added her second name, Ghinnawas, literally means little songs. They are short 2-line emotional lyric poems written in a fashion similar to a haiku. This is her mythic name, the one whispered by spirits just before they cross. I am sure by what I have shared so far, you have caught on to the fact that your heroic cat self is a cat death doula, a midwife for humans in the greatest need. Ghinnawas, keeper of the gentle departing. Here is her presence, here is her voice. She doesn't speak in riddles or raise her tail in arrogance. She speaks in purrs and whispers and listens as the veils begin to part. No mortal owns her. Even Osiris, who loves her, lets her act at her own will. When she suddenly appears at a nursing home or hospital, no one remembers opening the door to let her in. She is always on time, the exact hour that is sacredly appointed. Where she steps, dreams soften. Where she curls, pain quiets and transforms into soft ecstasy. She always settles over the heart of her charge, purring a sing-song purr of promises of paradise. If your name was forgotten, not because of poor deeds, but because you have outlived your loved ones, or they are far from you and unable to arrive, she knows your name that was lost somehow to the chaos of life. She comes as well to sudden deaths at the crossroads, when your loved ones assumed that the person crossing was alone, for instance, accidents. They were not alone. She was there. She is death's self-appointed emissary. She is comfort's last ambassador. She is the midwife of the blessed mystery, where no one is forgotten and time stills to make space for her comforting presence. This is what she has been known to whisper as she arrives for the weary, the brave, and the nearly forgotten. She speaks in her musical purr.
Hush now, beloved. These are not your final breaths. They are the last contractions of the life you lived here. You have labored long in a world that got caught in its own drama, or seldom remembered your radiance, but I have not forgotten. No one leaves unloved when I am near. I bring your relatives, your friends, and your other non-human companions who have also crossed. They are here at your side. Can you see them now? I have walked through the sacred veil to find this moment with you. Your good on earth was seen, and I am a sign that the cycles of suffering are over, and gifts will be yours aplenty. Do not be afraid of the stillness you feel growing. This is not silence. It is the choir beyond the veil, tuning itself to your soul. So many are eager to meet you. You will be held, not in earth but in light. Your name, once accidentally lost, is already being sung in the halls of Osiris, and I will purr you across the stars.
So what does this mean to you as your oracle? That you are connected by these invisible threads to a cat death midwife. If you are on the complex spectrum of her gift, she is the very definition of this in your confirmation, that you're being called to one of these professions to mirror her duty in real time on Earth. Hospice nurse, paramedic, ICU or ER nurse, firefighter, or death doula. You as well are supposed to hold space for those who are crossing and perform the sacred duty of peaceful and peace-bringing friend that administers comfort and ceremony for those that have run or are running out of time. If you are on her gentler spectrum, she is coming to let you know that you are the comfort on a more personal, one-on-one basis with someone that has, through circumstances unavoidable, lost touch of primary family, and you have been called to be that one, that source of sacred family by their side. It could be a person that has claimed you as chosen family after walking away from abusive relatives, but you will be the human equivalent of comfort and dearest love in these last years, months, or moments of a person that you were sacredly aligned to the side of. This is an honored position that will ask much of your heart, but know that you will be kissed by the blessings of this sacred cat, and that those that will walk alongside of you will see what you're doing from the star fields. Know this, your tender love and hand-holding is a grace that no human words can truly touch upon. You are being witnessed and assisted by your other self, your cat self. One final note before leaving. This oracle may also have arrived to someone that lost a loved one to tragedy. Maybe you were the one that couldn't make it to the last moments of the person you loved because of distance, sudden death by accident, or even a failure of messaging. I myself found out about my grandmother's death a week after her burial because my phone had been shut off when family had called and left me a message. I never got that message. I was devastated that I couldn't be there and that those family members thought I had forgotten or disdained my own grandmother, who I adored. If this is also attached regrettably to murder, and if so, this cat has a poem just for you. The poem is this.
I came on velvet feet unseen. Before any sirens split the air, I curled around them like a dream, knowing that they felt alone and bare. I curled beside the slipping thread, where breath and spirits part. And in the silence no one heard, I placed my paw upon their heart. I called the ones who know their name, the grandmothers, the child, the warrior kin with eyes of flame, the ones long reconciled. They came in light, they came in gold, they sang in tongues from afar. We gave them comfort for them to hold. The pain grew small, we lifted them from scars to the stars. And if they were in the least bit harmed, I called on Sobek's flashing teeth, so that the ramparts would be armed and those who harmed would be pulled underneath. So when you ache and rage and cry, I wasn't there, they died alone. Know this, love pierced that final sky. I was there and brought them home.
Be well, travelers, if you made it into the end of this very intense oracle. Know that your heart is a blessing and we see you over here. Please comment, like, and share. Perhaps you also have a story you would like to share with us. Know that if you do, you can leave it in the comments if you feel it will lift others in pain or need up with your words. You are appreciated. You are not alone. We all lose someone eventually, and my heart holds yours very tenderly. Until next time, be blessed.